Now, hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to Skycast, and we have a multi-day severe weather outbreak setting up, including strong tornadoes, damaging straight-line winds, and big-time hail. Let's break this down day by day and talk about what is going to unfold. Starting off today, 5:15, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather localized around central Iowa. This is going to be from the Midwest all the way down into parts of the Texas Panhandle. This is going to be a wind and hail driven threat, but we do have the potential to see a few tornadoes really honed in around the northeast side of Iowa here. But that tornado threat extends from Wisconsin all the way over into Nebraska. Like I was mentioning, straight line winds are going to be the real main threat, potentially exceeding 75 miles an hour at times. Really going to be honed in across Iowa here, and that hail threat as well across more parts of central and western Iowa. Have the potential to see some hail events in excess of 2 inches in diameter. Now, if we are looking at the HRRR model when we play this through, things are going to be relatively calm and quiet throughout the afternoon and evening. As we get towards parts of 8 and 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, though, we're really going to start seeing convection begin to fire off across the risk area here. We can see some little blips going off about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if we continue to play this through, supercells really begin to ramp up, especially in the general area right in here from the HRRR model picked up about 8 and 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. And that is where we're going to be highlighting that tornado threat, depending on where discrete supercells will set up. If we kind of play this back right here, this is a very discrete motion that the HRRR is picking up on. If these supercells can remain somewhat discrete, we will have the potential to see an elevated tornado threat. Eventually, though, this will form into a line, and that's where we're really going to be watching that damaging wind threat, because these straight line winds are going to be able to produce up to 75 mile an hour winds. These linear segments are really good at doing that, especially when we have lots of instability to work with due to the fact that it's May. Eventually, this will come off to the east, though, and as we approach parts of Janesville, Roxburgh, Galesburg, this will begin to weaken. This will probably still have some severe thunderstorm alerts on it as it continues through, but it will just continue to weaken off as it approaches Chicago Metro. But if you are anywhere from Storm Lake, Mason City, all the way down to Leon, including the Des Moines Metro and the Cedar Rapids Metro, definitely keep an eye on this threat tonight. Down here across parts of from the Kansas risk all the way down to parts of the Texas risk here, we do have a conditional threat for severe weather. We do have a cap in place that may limit some severe thunderstorms, and the HRRR simply does not convect here. I would say that we will get some severe thunderstorms going here, but the matter of when and where will definitely be of question. The HRRR does convect some thunderstorms down here around 5 and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, around the Colorado City area of Texas, right here on the Panhandle. But if you are in the slight risk region, conditional threat here, but the potential for damaging winds and some hail is definitely present. So keep an eye on the sky. Now, for tomorrow, 5/16, the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted another enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms. This is going to be from northeast Colorado, a parts of southern Nebraska, and into northern Kansas. This is also going to have a tornado risk associated with it, that 5% risk here, but going to be, once again, damaging wind threat and a hail threat. This is going to be, as we were looking at today, potential for hail in 2 inches or excess, and potential for damaging winds up to or potentially exceeding 75 miles an hour. If we play this through here on the HRRR, really going to be watching this general area for severe storms to fire, and I would not be shocked to see this enhanced risk get extended as we get into portions of tomorrow, as we learn better and better how supercell development will fire. But about 5 and 6 o'clock is the time frame to watch for initiation. We're going to see strong to severe thunderstorms go up before they really ramp up into a severe threat, and right here is where we could see some additional supercell development. And this is kind of questionable on if we will, but we do have a very potent environment that will have the potential for potentially a strong tornado. We're also going to have this line of storms that's, like we talked about before, going to be able to produce not only damaging winds up to or potentially excess of 75 miles an hour again, but also the potential for that big time hail threat. And this will continue to ramp forward, eventually will weaken as it moves off to the east. But this is going to be a more messy event by the looks of what the HRRR is showing, but definitely a severe threat still evident. Damaging winds, large hail, potentially for a few tornadoes. Stay tuned to the forecast on this one. Now, as we get into 5/17 on Sunday, we have the potential to start looking at a severe weather or tornado outbreak. This is going to be day 3 of this whole event, and this is the potential where we're going to really start honing down on those significant severe threats. Enhanced risk of severe weather from Minnesota, Iowa, parts of Nebraska, and South Dakota. Slight risk extending from Wisconsin down into Oklahoma, and the probabilistic of this being a severe weather threat is going to be the 30% with the SIG 1 hatching here, but I would not be surprised as we get mesoscale corridors lined out if this risk does not continue to increase. Now, we don't have any short-range models in range for this severe weather threat on Sunday, but if we do kind of play this through into the afternoon and evening hours, lots of instability, Cape into the 4,000s range beginning to show up, and we're going to be honing in really more of this general area for a severe weather threat. Really bad circle, I know. But this is kind of the area that we are watching. Would not be shocked to see that enhanced risk get extended further south, especially on the dry line here. Really intense dry line look to be setting up from the Grand Island area all the way down into the Oklahoma region. So depending on how mesoscale factors begin to form and how we begin to line things out, would not be shocked to see the enhanced risk get extended further south. And now we get to potentially the most significant severe weather day we have had all year. As of the looks of it right now, this is still 4 days out, so things are going to change and we're going to get mesoscale corridors lined out. But as of right now, very significant potential of severe weather from Wisconsin all the way down into Oklahoma. That 15% from Texas all the way up into Michigan. This will be a widespread, potentially significant severe weather outbreak, and the Storm Prediction Center has said that themselves. This is not just me saying that. This has the potential to be a very big severe weather event, and this is one that everybody needs to be watching. As we get into the hours on Monday, well, as we get, let's do 5 to 8 p.m. here, we're going to have a lot of instability to work with. This is going to be Cape up to the 4,500, if not the 5,000 range. That is a nuclear amount of instability for storms to take a hold of, and this is going to be a very large swath, more of like a dry line / cold front threat here, and this will be the concern for not only supercells but a linear mode of storms that could pose a risk for damaging to destructive wind gusts and some very large hail. Also with this, as I mentioned before, the tornado threat will be evident. Potential for strong to intense long track tornadoes depending on where supercells set up. Very volatile environment, and this is something to keep an eye on. Now let's talk about upper level winds before we end the video and talk about what is going to be happening. As we get into today, we have lots of upper level wind activity here, especially across parts of the north here, that zonal flow that's going to be continuing, and that will be the help to spark our severe weather threat across parts of Iowa here. But as we continue this into Saturday and Sunday, we have lots of little short waves in the upper level atmosphere that is helping to spark these severe weather threats. They have this little area right here that'll be able to assist with the severe threat tomorrow on the 16th on Saturday. As we continue to ramp this up, though, we can see this trough really beginning to come together as it ramps off from the west. As we get into 5 p.m. on Sunday, that really begins to ramp up. That's going to help with that severe weather threat across the region here from South Dakota, Nebraska, that area, for that tornado threat and that damaging wind threat, hail threat, that significant risk that we were talking about. And as we get into Monday is where we really begin to see things ramp up. Those upper level winds come together very perfectly. Right here is a beautiful screenshot. Lots of instability, lots of moisture, lots of thermodynamics that are coming together, and those upper level winds are going to be the main focal point for forcing. Everything is going to collide. That's where we're going to see our significant severe weather threat, and this has been a trend that has been very consistent on many models, and that's why we are already seeing very strong wording coming out from the Storm Prediction Center. I mean, here we are looking at the day 4 risk. If we scroll down and look at it, literally it starts off the whole discussion with severe weather outbreak possible on day 4 Monday. If you want to go ahead and pause this and read this, you can, but I'm going to highlight kind of right here, portions of central Kansas into northern Oklahoma may lead to an increasing risk for strong to intense tornadoes. This is going to be a very, very decent event to watch. Probably one of the most significant we've seen all year, if not the most. Initial supercells will pose a risk for all hazards, including large to very large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. So lots of stuff to watch with this one. A big thing that we're going to need to continue to monitor is how those mesoscale features come together. If a few things are off here and there, that could lead to a fail mode for this event. But as of right now, big time severe weather outbreak looking possible for Sunday and specifically on Monday. Now I'm Christian. You can follow me on X. Link is in the description for up-to-date weather information as it comes out. My name is Christian. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather place. Have a great day. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.